This is the Cash Considerations podcast with three guys from Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston talking sports. God help us all. This is the show. Take it away, Dave.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 6th. We are in postseason baseball. Boys and girls, I don't know if you heard, there was a game last night. We're going to talk about that a little bit, as well as what's going on. There's also a game going on right now, which for those of you watching us on YouTube, you'll be able to see who's representing what. We got three different colors. These are the primary colors. These are it's all working. Anyhow, watch it on YouTube. My name is Dave Sharapan. I am the Sportsbook Consigliere at SportsBK Consig. This is Cash Considerations at Cash Consid Show. Also at Cash Considerations on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's all there. But with me tonight, we usually have a guest. We'll get to that in a second. Let's welcome the boys, first of all. Neuby, I'll go to you first. Dan Newbert, Dan Alexander on Twitter, at Neuby Talks on Twitter. He's Dan Alexander's name. His handle is at Neuby Talks. He's our executive producer of the show, also co-host of the show. Wearing the green tonight, Neuby. Good afternoon. Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent, man. And that's what I mean is it's just the boys here on this one. And honestly, some people probably listen at the top. They're like, man, this is probably gonna be a shorter episode. It's just those three. Take the over. Take the over. But happy to be back with you boys as always. And I love the observation out of you for the YouTube watchers. The red, the green, the blue. It looks good. We gotta coordinate the outfits a little bit more. It looks good, boys.
Yeah, we're gonna coordinate maybe some hats. We did the colors by accident. We're gonna do the hats on purpose. Maybe, I don't know. Things gonna happen. Newbie was over there drinking, and maybe some things happening down in the Buckhead Studios up in Boston. CH Carl Hascall at Carl Hascall. That's Hascall. For all of you that new to the show, but you shouldn't be new to the show. Follow Carl there, the coordinating producer, the social media manager, the email guy, cashconsidshow@gmail.com, and Red Sox fan again, Carl Hascall, CH. What's up? Did you break that out of the storage unit or what? Where did you get that Red Sox?
I did break that out of storage. How are you? How you doing? Yeah, I'm officially, I'll say it. If you've been listening to how much I've said this team sucks, I'm back on the bandwagon, boys.
I love it. Well, I'm on the bandwagon too. That game last night was so much fun. We'll get to that in a second. Tonight, we don't have a guest. All the people that could be guests were very busy this week. October's a busy sports month in general. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things. There's a lot of people here in Las Vegas at the G2E conference. I've been burning the candle at both ends. I understand it. I'm doing content all day between MLB Network, shows of Matt Peralt, friend of the show, other hits, Newby's producing, stuff for Wager Talk. And, the lacrosse show is dark right now, but we got stuff going on. Carl actually is doing a lot of things. He's doing a lot of things at home working, and he's doing stuff for the show working. And you guys are going to start making appearances with this Talking the Line. I heard about that. That's exciting news. So now the boys are going to be guests on other podcasts. And all these people be watching the shows like us and 8 in the Box with Brad Howell as well. Me and him do a college football show. This Cash Consideration things is going along as planned. All of that said, no one could come on the show. Everybody's here in Vegas or busy. So what we do us. We're going to have us the show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Leave us a review if you can. Hit subscribe on YouTube. That's actually helping things. We just launched this YouTube channel. Boys, we should have done this last year when but it's okay. Nothing's too late. I can tell you that firsthand in life. 51 and coming off the stroke. Things are going okay over here at the Consig house out in the Hamptons. So I'm happy that we're there. Tell someone to just go watch the show. If you don't like it, don't like it. Don't subscribe. But if you do, like it and tell somebody. Let's get this thing going. We're going to talk baseball. Bon dia, bon tarde, bon noche. We're out. Then we're going to get to some college football later taken. Then we got a little surprise for the pro football section of the show, which we call In the Gun. a little short visit to Carl's Corner, which got bumped due to, longer shows. We had to cut something. So Carl's Corner, something had to go, not personal, but we had to cut it. We're going to go there real quick and then take a minute and out. So that's the show. Here we go. Carl.
Yes, sir.
How excited were you, when Xander Bogaerts hit that home run, and two, when Xander Bogaerts took that relay throw from Kike Hernandez and fired it home, and somehow Nevin sent Judge home, and they rang him up? I almost passed out. First of all, when Xander hit it, I was excited. When he threw him out at home, that was fundamental baseball. I put that on Twitter. That to me, I almost passed out. I was excited. I know we were texting a little bit, but I didn't want to bother you. And I know I was on the air. That's pretty good ball game, was it not?
It's a pretty good ball game. I'm surprised nobody's beating up Phil Nevin for holding Stanton at first base in the first inning with that Stantonian blast he hit in the top of the first. But that's the thing, right? The Yankees are probably on paper a much better team, but man, the fundamentals killed them last night.
Oh,
not hustling, getting the Sox hitting the cutoff man, like you said, with Xander throwing him out at the plate. It was just good fundamental baseball, and that's what you really need to do at this time of year.
It's unbelievable, right? Like you play 162 games to play one. It's unfair. It's kind of bullshit, but you know what? It is the rules, and you play all the time. If you play that way all the time, yes, mistakes happen, but man, they had 7 walks in the game. They struck out over 10 times at the plate. Stanton walked the first, or admired his home run that wasn't a home run, which, by the way, Sterling's call, if you haven't heard, go back and listen to John Sterling's call where he said he thought it was gone. He did the whole Stantonian blast. And wait, what did I do wrong? What did I? It was too good. Not making fun of anybody, but man, it's a funny clip. So go watch it. Newbie, you went a little bit different route with the baseball game yesterday. And you actually put it out on the Twitter, which now you boys you're up over 800. You're not afraid of it at all. Tell the people where you were while I was, holding my Rafael Devers bobblehead doll that I received at the game that night. And Carl has been sweating this shit his whole life as a Red Sox fan. Where were you last night while the baseball game was going on?
So, just doing newbie things. I decided to go. My one buddy asked me, hey, you want to go check out this Venom movie? I'm a huge comic book guy. Loved them growing up. So the first one was super fun. Tom Hardy, the star of it, went, checked out. Venom 2. If you didn't check it out, like if you are into like the whole, action hero kind of thing, it's fun. It's not like the best movie you're ever going to fucking see, but it wasn't bad. And afterwards, post-credit sequence blew my mind. So I was watching some movies. And then before the game, because I, like you, we have Bostonian brethren and sistren that we go lockstep with.
Yes.
You because you got, a Fenway dog, and me because there was money to be made. And everybody and their grandmother were on the Yankees all day long. I was telling Carl before we started the show, you couldn't scroll through Twitter without somebody putting out a mega goat whale play. Yankees are live tonight. Yankees are a lock. So what do? Knowing my Sportsbook Consigliere friend Dave here, you go on the other side. The books all across the country needed the Red Sox. So, there's a reason why the lights are on every now and then. So rolling with the books last night, rolling with the Boston boys. So I get out of the movie, couldn't even watch because the Red Sox had already gained a lead. So I wasn't going to newbie mush everybody just so I could watch and let out my bet. So, you guys don't have to say thank you, but I will accept the heaps and praise at Newbie Talks at Twitter. I was a part of that win as well, just not watching, Dave.
Red Sox Nation, thanks you. How was Venom 2 compared to Venom 1? It's
basically same movie, just
same
with
movie,
Woody
okay.
Harrelson making you feel uncomfortable the whole movie. So, it just added that element in.
Is it little consig appropriate? She saw the ad. She wants to see it. She's 7.
I'm definitely not 7. There's a lot of F-bombs, actually. I was surprised at the amount of F-bombs. They, I think in like PG-13, they only get like 3 tops. They made the most of those 3 tops. Really?
Really?
Yeah. I don't think 7-year-old approved. Maybe like 13.
Now, the 7-year-old shoots me the finger almost on a regular basis.
I was just going to say,
is a different breed as
Yeah,
well. So,
you know what's going on here at the house, which you're going to know actually firsthand in a few weeks, which they're already preparing for the Neuby stay here at the Hamptons.
That's what I like to hear.
They're trying to figure out, you know, to get you a car if you want it as well. I'm like, you know what? The kid doesn't, he can borrow my car if he needs it, but he's going to hang out with me. Like, I'm going to hang out with him. And they're like, well, no, we're going to go to the field. Kelsey's already got the route tree plan. You got all these things.
Chauffeur me around. That works out nicely.
Yeah,
but no, I'm probably not going to be the one who takes the 7-year-old to see Venom 2. If you'd like to, that's your prerogative.
Okay. I'm going to let Grandma know, because Grandma saw Venom 1 and said, I don't know if that would be good for little Kendall. So maybe you guys are smarter than me. I don't know. I thought it was a comic book movie. I'm like, what could it be about? Now that I know there's not as many F-bombs as when Gumpy was on with us here in Cash Considerations. Carl, how many did he say again? What was it?
153 F-bombs.
153 in about 90-minute episode. He came on with a purpose. Gumpy did a good job. Gumpy was happy. Yeah, he was happy last night as well with the Red Sox win. That was exciting. Over the weekend, there's a football game. I don't know if anybody paid any attention to it. We kind of mentioned it on the show. Mentioned the guy's name every single goddamn week. Tom Brady. There you go, Tom Brady.
Already?
Yeah, I know.
That's an under.
It's the show's over. We got the Tom Brady, cash the under. All right. This game was gigantic. I mean, gigantic. I know CH was watching it. Neuby, I'm going to throw it back to you real quick. You weren't at no damn movie because it was Sunday. You've made it clear to the listeners on Sunday you watch football. That's a long-ass day. You cook. Now you put out these tweets with this unbelievable food. I want you to know you're already on the hook for one, if not 2 nights of dinner here at the Consigliere house. They're like, the kid's going to cook, right? I'm like, oh, he's going to cook. I'm going to take him to the store and say, get whatever you want. The floor is yours. Were you watching Sunday night? What did you take away from the game? Patriots at home against the Bucks.
I mean, this is going to be, of course I was watching the game. You already know that. As far as
you were off the show if you weren't watching the game.
Yeah, no. And then I have no use, because sometimes I forget to record the show. So I'm no producer role. If I'm not watching football and I can't make some stupid voices, there's no spot for Neuby. But as far as the game, I thought the Patriots looked good, man. I mean, because the narrative all week long was, it's going to be the Tom Brady show. It's going to be the most touchdowns ever scored at Foxborough. It's going to be the most yards. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And Bill Belichick did what Bill Belichick is known to do. He took away, or not took away, he hindered what your best weapon is. And what was the best weapon on the field? Either way, it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't throw a touchdown pass. So if the point was limit him and we have a chance, they damn did have a chance, but Tom Brady is the luckiest motherfucker alive.
Say it.
Because what happens after he goes down and he gets, what happens? A kicker ends up kicking a field goal, and then it's Tom Brady who wins the game. But regardless, the kicker kicks the field goal, and then the skies open. And then the rain is pouring. I give credit for Mac Jones standing in the pocket, had some tough throws to make in the rain, and I've been an anti-Mac Jones guy. Patriots look good. Tom Brady gets lucky again. If only that field goal hit, man. But the game itself, I think it lived up to what it was, but it wasn't the offensive showing. I like defense, though. I thought it was a good football game, personally.
CH, you're in the crucible of it. You got me saying the guy's name now. You've been saying the guy's name. That was, I mean, all week we heard, is it the chicken or the egg? Is it Bill? Is it Tom? You said it best on Twitter. It's both of them. They needed each other. Nobody was better than the other. One is not the master and one is not the student. Stop with the bullshit. It was a hell of a football game. And we talked about it all week. We actually did some props, and we was Brady going to come back and return? No Gronk. He needs Gronk. And I mean, is the big guy upstairs a Patriots fan? Because when the game started, the skies opened up like he made it impossible to light it up. Nobody was lighting it up. But the Patriots are the best 1-3 team in football, are they not?
They're a pretty good 1-3 team. They really are. I'm very impressed with Mac. I mean, he had a shitty game the week before, but 19 completions in a row. Granted, he's only throwing the ball 8 yards downfield. It's not like he's trying to hit Aguilar 30 yards down like he probably can. But they're doing the same thing they did with Brady his first, 4 or 5 games. And actually, the first few years with Brady, it was all dink and dunk. Hit Kevin Falk coming out of the backfield, and that's what they're doing. Yep. So I thought it was a good game. Honestly, I can't stand watching games live. I always watch them on the DVR, and I start like an hour after it's already started, skip all the commercials, skip all the bullshit, skip the injury timeouts. I had to watch that game live, obviously. Yeah. And man, it is painful watching a 3.5 hour long game that doesn't end until midnight, by the way, on a school night. I got to get up and go to work the next morning. That's painful. That's painful. You probably, it's 9 o'clock when the game's over. You're probably, going out for dinner or something.
I've been saying this now for years. The East Coast time zone is getting harder and harder and harder to watch sports as you get older. Like, I mean, Neuby, you're in your 20s. It's still hard. Is it hard for you to stay up late? I mean, you're a night owl, so it's not really that
like
hard.
For me, I'm already going to be up late. I'm like an insomniac. So for me, it definitely isn't too rough. But when I have people I want to watch the games with, it's definitely a lot tougher to get that plan in. And I mean, it's been said 1,000 times. West Coast has to be by far the best time zone watching, because when it does get late, it's tough for people. For me, I'm invested anyways.
And for me, this is the worst time of year for this. It's 10:38 here when we're recording. It's the bottom of the friggin' sixth inning of this baseball game. This game, the over/under's got to be midnight. This game's going to midnight. Especially it's tied. Even if it only goes 9, it's going to midnight.
Right. By the way, they just cut to Juan Soto wearing his jersey in the stands with the boys, like with Turner and Scherzer pitching and stuff. Juan Soto is wearing a number 7 Washington Nationals jersey in this. How cool is that? He's 25. He's like a big kid. He's a major leaguer wearing his jersey, cheering for his boys in the stands. I love baseball. It's the best. My takeaway from the game, we kind of mentioned it in the notes, so I'll mention it now. The line opened 5.5. Was very interesting, right? And everybody was like, "Oh, Brady's going to blow him out. Move it up. Bet it. Got it all the way bet up to 7. And I got the text on Sunday morning. It's at 6.5. And then it started to happen at other books, 6.5. And then stayed at 6.5 until kickoff. Now, someone had asked, and CH asked me in a text in our group thread before the game, how is that possible? Like, what can you explain that procedure? Yeah, it's pretty simple. They made the number 5.5 and took bets all the way up the ladder until you get to a point where a bad guy or a respected player plays it and tells you that's the number, stop. And then you go back to, you can leave at 7 and let them pick at it or let somebody else come in and grab it. But I'm guessing when I saw the number come down at a couple books, I kind of thought, oh my, I know who played that. Who had to move that number today, Sunday? I'm not saying he only has 2 initials. I'm not saying it's a former fighter. Definitely no, it wasn't him. But I think I know who it was, or someone related along this group of one guy. He's a ghost, but he's not. Anyhow, the number went to 6.5, and the book said, fuck it. We're going to live with this decision. And you had a big decision. And then I was out and about Sunday. I spent Sunday at Stadium Swim with a listener of the show. I wanted to give him a personal shout out. Franzi, Alex Frost he came to town for a wedding and said, hey, I got a place at Stadium Swim. Do you want to come out? Yeah. So he's done the show, guest of the show, follows the show, tweets it, tells people about it, and was basically, I was the guest and he was the host, and met his wife. They recently got married. Congratulations. Awesome stuff. Points bet trader up in Denver. down for the weekend. We had a great time. And we were laughing because we were like, well, obviously the Patriots plus 6.5 is a play, but I mean, the money line's in play. They might win the game. And turns out the books were right again. But the books don't know shit. They don't know that that's going to happen. You do that every day. You move a number until you get to a point where somebody tells you in some sort of way that that's the number. Now, sometimes it happens on Wednesday. You get to 3 and you sit on 3. You get to 4.5. You're getting two-way action enough. You sit there. Sunday, 7. That was it. And the books got there. Now, next week, or if Brady would have won by 10, the books would have been crying. Everybody would have been bitching, and it would have been a whole new narrative. So books win that one. They don't win like Cincinnati, Notre Dame last week, where everybody was on Cincinnati and they didn't move the number and they let them bet them and they let them bet them. And Cincinnati kicked Notre Dame's ass. You don't hear about that one. The books, they sometimes they like to break their arms, patting themselves on the back like this. Good. You just salute them. Way to go. That's it. All right. That's
So
the take.
I have to ask you a question about this.
Please do.
So you put up a number and you're waiting for somebody to come in with a bag before you move the number.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody in town is coming in with baggies. What was it? 93% of the tickets and the money were all
as high as that. Yeah.
Right. So if it's that lopsided, you still don't move the number unless somebody comes in with a big bag.
I don't. I mean, I do, but like some of the books in towns, like in Vegas, especially, they're very reticent to do it because Purdom wrote a great article. David Purdom on ESPN wrote his Monday article, and he talked to John Murray, who's also a friend of mine, the executive director at the Westgate Superbook here in Vegas, and now they're in Colorado and New Jersey. And John basically said, look, you're not doing your job if you move the number and you give away your some sort of profit decision, whatever, and the rest of the town does good and you don't. Now, that's one philosophy. The philosophy that I learned and did and booked, and if I was booking out of my pocket, I would do the same thing, is I don't have to hit a home run on a game like that every week. Like, I'm okay hitting a double in the gap. So if I get to 7 and ain't nobody betting it, I let somebody bet it. I may not even move. I might take more. I don't need to hit a home run on every game like that. Some books have that little more gamble in them, and they want to hit that home run. And if they don't, they know there's another game tomorrow. I mean, we got Raiders Chargers on Monday, so we fucked up. It's easy to do when you're not booking out of your pocket. It's really easy to do. And a lot of books like to gamble like that. When I was in CG, we'd have been the first one to go to 7 to see if that was the number. And then we would have gone to 6.5. But once it got to, we need the game for $500,000 again, we would have gone to 7, taken a $50,000 bet, knocked it back down, and would have had the risk almost down to nothing if Tampa won and covered, probably lose 0 or still win a little, and just not win $1 million, maybe win $500,000 on New England winning, where the rest of the town would lose $300,000 if New England, didn't cover, but they would win $1 million if New England did cover. So different way of booking the games, and I think a lot of people like to talk about it. I've actually done it, and I can kind of explain it. So thank you for asking that question. I think people are interested in that. And, those bags show up. Sometimes they don't. That's the other thing. Like sometimes you get to a number and you're like, I used to say, send out a bat signal. Hey, can you go find somebody to bet New England here? Like, we got to move a number. I don't want to go to 7.5, but like, you can't push people to bet it when they don't show up, but you can with the juice or move a number. So interesting discussion. All right. Dodger game's going on right now. It's 1-1 in the 6th. Dodgers are hitting. I'm wearing this ridiculous Dodgers hat, but it does protect you against the sun. The brim has not grown, despite Neuby saying it's growing while we're talking, but it's there.
Optical illusion.
Yes. What do you boys? So let's just do the baseball real quick. Bon dia, bon tarde, bon noche. I said it again. It's good. I'm going to say it every time we do it. National League. Well, no, let's do the American League. We got Red Sox and Rays. We got White Sox and Astros. I will go out first and say Rays win the American League. I mean, they're the favorite. It's kind of chalky, but until somebody proves to me that they can beat them in a short series, whether it's 5 games or 7 games, I don't think any one of the other 3 participants are. Who do I think can? I think all of them can. I don't think there's any team that just, Red Sox, why can't they win again? I mean, they get Sale, they get Evaldi game 3. Rodriguez is determining, I think, how this series goes. He pitches good. Red Sox can win a series, but I think a split at best, and let's get to Fenway, see what happens. CH, off a little baseball high. You're in it all right now. Who's winning the American League?
So I'm conflicted because I've been saying for 6 months how bad this team sucks. And clearly it's worked. So I can either say that this team sucks, or I can say what I think is really going to happen. I think the pennant winner comes out of that Tampa Bay Boston series. I think whoever wins that series is going to the World Series.
Fair.
Neuby made the prediction at the beginning of the season about the Astros having new trash barrels in the clubhouse. I don't know how Dusty Baker at what is he, 89 years old? If him and La Russa, somebody's going to have to keep them awake during the series. I think that's probably why they got the early games. They got
the day games.
They got the 4 o'clock games.
The early bird special.
Yeah. So they could
hot dog.
Exactly. So they could stay awake. So, but to answer your question, American League, I think whoever wins the Tampa Boston series wins the pennant.
Okay. It's so funny because Neuby, you'll see it when you come out here. I go on this walk. There's a park right next to the house, and now there's a walking path. There's a full gym. It's amazing. It's so lucky where I'm at up in the northwest part of Vegas. But I go out, and sometimes I'll shoot the videos that you see on TikTok because I can't shoot them in the house because there's always something fucking going on in this house. So I got to get out, and I go shoot this video, and I'm wearing the Red Sox gear. Now, he saw me a couple weeks ago wearing the Yankee gear, and neighbor Patrick, when he saw me, he rolled his window down. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm not letting you in my house ever again." I'm like, no. I'm just, I felt like that commercial. I was like, I'm just wearing it for the video. He goes, "You're wearing Yankee stuff. You told me you liked the Red Sox. You went to Fenway Park." And he pulls away in his truck. Like he was joking, but he wasn't. He was like pissed. These people are, like it's real, that rivalry. Neighbor Patrick is so upset with you, CH, because he goes, "Your guy you do the show with keeps saying they suck. I hope he keeps saying it all the way to the World Series."
He will.
You just fucking said it. I love it. That's fantastic. So neighbor Patrick listening to the show, he's going to be very excited.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
No,
Right.
Absolutely. And so Neuby, you don't even like baseball. And you picked in our preseason baseball picks.
This makes me sick, by the way.
It's unfuckable. Talk about being sick. What did you say, Neuby? I talked over you. What did you say?
I said I'm just a savant like that. You know what I mean? Like I have the power to mush teams, but I'm a soothsayer of sorts. You know.
Okay, so soothsay this shit. All right, here. Let's go. You picked the Rays to win the division. Guess what? They won the division. You picked the White Sox to win the division. Guess what? They won the fucking division. You picked the Astros to win the division. 3 for 3 in the American League. And now we got, you at the movies watching Venom 2, picking the Red Sox to win the game because you know the Consigliere and you know the CH. Neuby, don't think, just say us all, who's winning the American League?
Now, I was talking to Carl in a pre-show meeting, and I was like,
"Wait, there's pre-show meetings? What the fuck?"
Well, you have to show up on time to be at the pre-show meeting.
Son of a bitch. I'm on the grid. I can't get here on time. That's right. Go ahead. Fair. Are you recording those?
It's so sworn to secrecy. We have a secret handshake and everything. We do our little.
Bitch, I'm losing control of this show. Go ahead, sir.
So I told Carl, I have a rooting interest. I have my heart in the game, but I can't say it on the show because I don't want to mush them.
Oh, okay, fair.
So that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Like
I
I
like it.
can't,
Okay.
I can't speak it, but
No, don't say nothing.
I have a rooting interest, and
Fair
I just
enough.
can't speak it.
You
know what I mean? I just can't. I can't say anything. I won't. I won't say anything. But
There we go. Play the damn song.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
do it, Carl.
Any sense? I'm not saying, but I'm saying. That's my prediction there in the AL. That's the way.
That's it. That the American League discussion is done. Let's go, Bon Noche.
There's nothing. By the way, there's nothing better than when they play that song after a win. They do it. They do it at the Bruins games too. It's fantastic.
The
whole stadium
so
loves it.
good. Oh my God.
Better than Sweet Caroline. That's
It's yeah.
Agreed.
Although the Sweet Caroline thing is kind of cool. Like
It is
like the first time.
the first time. Like the kids that was their first experience at Fenway when they did it, and they were like, "Oh my God, this was great." So the second night, they were excited to do it, and then I could see, yes, that could get old.
Well, I think it was cool, like when it was a Fenway thing. You know what I mean? Because I went to the Penn State game this past weekend. They do the same thing. They do this. They do the Sweet Caroline. So you know what I mean? You got to have some things that just stay. It's like how everybody does like everybody does the same fucking shit.
See, that was a Penn State thing, and then they started doing it everywhere. But like, don't give CH any more fuel for the fire here. Everybody copied Sweet Caroline from Boston.
You can have it.
Oh, okay, good. That's it. Carl says have it. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, they're done with it. They're going to come up with something new probably at the Bruins games. They're probably not going to do it at the Celtics games because the Celtics games, they're not going to be too exciting. They're not going to win many games. Listen, I got to take shots at Boston while I can't see. Sorry. All right. So let's do the National League. And I'm going to go to our resident baseball expert who doesn't watch baseball again because he picked these division winners. Okay. We forced him into picking the Phillies because we shamed him. I mean, he couldn't pick the Braves because he's a Philly guy. So he picked the Phillies. He got that one fucking wrong. Okay. Yeah. Picked the Brewers to win the Central. That's one right again. And then he did the only one that he fucking really missed on was the Padres. But a lot of you missed on the Padres. All your season wins and all your other shit went right down the drain, just like KGB said in the movie. So, Neuby, you can say it if you want. You don't have to say it. We don't know if it's going to be Dodgers or Cardinals. So it may be hard to say, but is there someone that comes to mind, a song or anything like that you can just kind of just float out there for all the listeners of the Cash Considerations podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about mushing any of these people, you know what I mean? So I don't really give a shit on this end.
Let's go.
So if I think the Braves could be live.
Perfect. That's good. All our listeners in the ATL.
But if I think, like Carl was kind of saying, I think pennant winner comes out of this wild card game that's going on right now, because if the Cardinals win that magic ride, they have that shit all going. I think probably the Dodgers, from the limited amount of baseball that I did see, they seem like one of the more complete teams that's left. You know, it's heading on into the playoffs. I think whoever wins this game, Cards or Dodgers, I think that's who's going to be your pennant winner there.
Carl, did you see what just happened there in the feed?
Was I muted? What happened? What happened? Or is CH muted?
CH is muting himself.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I've been coughing all friggin' night, so I muted myself because I'm coughing because I'm a true radio professional over here.
You two schmucks. First of all, Neuby's Wi-Fi froze for a second, so his feed stopped and his face was locked, but he still was talking, but every third word came out. Yeah, so those of you listening or watching, go back and find that spot right there. I don't know how many minutes are we into it, Neuby. Write it down right now. Because then Carl started talking. I asked him specifically because we were going to take a shot at you having bad Wi-Fi, and he fucking muted himself, and he's talking and answering the question, which I think is a bit, but it's not, because he's muting himself while he's coughing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the show. This is the Cash Consideration Show. Hashtag TITS, which is hashtag tits. We just did the show in one segment. Carl, who's winning the National League?
I can't believe, I'm halfway through taking shots at Neuby using my Wi-Fi over there. And I say to myself, geez, I sound kind of quiet. I can't really hear myself. I wonder. And I went, oh, fuck, I'm muted, aren't I?
Oh, shit.
Anyway, National League. We've been saying all year long. We've been saying all year long that they're going to fade. They're going to fade. They're going to fade. And you know what? They never faded. I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Giants out of the National League.
Can't go with Gabe.
Granted, they only won by a game, but they won.
Neuby's not even a baseball fan. He's like, he can't go with Gabe Kapler because he coached the Phillies.
Too much coconut oil.
Yeah, but he's
looks great.
But he's got a Yastrzemski, so
that's true.
He does. He has a Yaz. That would be cool. 107 wins. I mean, it's
a lot of wins.
With this, it's a lot of wins, and the Dodgers have 105. They're playing in this fucking game. It's 1-1 in the 7th. They may not play another game. You win 105, not enough. It's crazy. I like the Giants too. CH did correctly predict the Braves and the Brewers to win their divisions. He also had the Padres. My preseason predictions included the Braves, included the Cardinals, and included the Dodgers. So when we summed up the total games missed, Neuby won. He doesn't even watch baseball. I was second. I at least closed the gap with the Cardinals, getting it close. And, my Twins pick along with CH was our downfall. But then CH brought in the rear. So that was the standings for the preseason predictions. You have our postseason predictions. I'm going also with San Francisco, Tampa Bay, and this is the year of the Tampa Bay. It's the Lightning, it's the Brady and the Buccaneers, and now we get the Tampa Bay Rays are going to win the World Series. Clip that, and then we'll play that back when the Red Sox actually win the World Series, and we can play the song continuously the whole time. You go back and watch. You want to clip, boys, go clip CH joining in with the arms over his head for the dance. Not Sweet Caroline. We got the Boston song. I love it. All right. That's it for baseball. We got to get to some football. Of course, before we do, I want to mention the Book It Sports app. What's better than winning a bet? Doing it with your friends. On the Book It Sports app, you can talk about the game, track your action, and buy picks straight from the pros, whether you like MLB, NBA, or NHL, which is coming very soon. Come sweat out your bets. With one of the fastest growing communities in sports betting, start building your following and stand out amongst your friends by downloading Book It Sports today for free on the Apple and Google Play stores. Book It Sports is available for download in all 50 states. Oh, you know what else is available? Book It Trent. Book It with Trent on Twitter, also on Instagram, on TikTok. The kid's getting followers all over the place because you want to talk about a mush. Forget about you, Neuby. Your powers are shit.
Yeah.
Trent is amazing. He can't win a bet, and then he goes and picks a 5-game parlay on Sunday, money line football NFL parlay, and actually won. So he got to tell everybody that he had a 5-game parlay, only to come about and pick the Yankees in the baseball game yesterday. So when he picks your team, you got to be pretty disappointed. When you picks the team you're playing, you're on the other side, that's pretty exciting. So that's it. Book It Sports. Book It with Trent on Twitter. Let's play some Layin or Taken, fellas. So it's funny because, Carl is our numbers guy and our email guy. Again, email the show at cashconsidshow@gmail.com. cashconsidshow@gmail.com. One of these fucking times I'm going to get that right. So NCAA Layin or Taken standings are out, and we're pretty average. But in the spirit of the show, like we just did, we're going to do less college picks because we're picking them better than pros, and we're going to do more pro picks. So if you want to fucking fade us, you can. And you think we're good, we're going to be good eventually, but we're going to do less college, more pro. and you can follow more college stuff. It's a tighter show. Me and Brad Howe, 8 in the Box, where we kind of attack 8 games. We got one Neuby started. Neuby's a producer of the show, and it's a great idea. We're doing the highest total of the week. So far, that's money. You need to listen to that show because we give you a total, and it is, knock on wood there, I say undefeated. Fuck, I'm not afraid of no mush. We gave out a total. We give out a total every week, and it ain't lost yet. Think about that. All right. I got 4 games. We're going to do 4 college games on the show. 8 in the Box. Me and Brad do 8. We're doing 4 right now. Layin or taken. Carl's in charge of the games in the list. Carl comes up with it. We just say, okay. These are all 4 games between ranked teams. First one, Oklahoma minus 3.5 against Texas. 63.5 is the total. This is known as the Red River Shootout. But as Bama Mafia picks, our friend down in Alabama has told us when he was on the show, he don't want these people in the SEC, but this is an SEC matchup. So it's not the SEC matchup yet, but Oklahoma, Texas. I'll kick it off. The game's in Dallas. It's not really a home game for Texas, but it is. I'm taking the points. I'm taking plus 3.5. This is one of the strangest games every year. And I don't think Oklahoma's that good. They're 1-4 against the spread. They're 5-0, but they're 1-4 against the number. Texas got their asses whooped in Arkansas. I think they actually either Oklahoma gets right and blows them out, or Texas wins the game. I think you got to worry about the spread, but I'm going to take 3.5 and entertaining a money line play. CH, Oklahoma, Texas, Layin or taken. What do you got?
I'm going to force Neuby to go against us. Let's hook him. I don't know if this is hook him or if this is the devil horns or if it's hang loose or what the fuck it is, but I'm holding up 2 fingers. It's not the I love you guys, but that's this. I'm hooking the horns. I'll take Texas.
All right. Are you back, Neuber? Are you moving? Can we hear you? What do you got going on over there?
Yeah. I should be moving. I should be good to go here. But I can't go against you. I too am hooking them in this one. Ever since I saw Rattler on what was that? QB1 Beyond the Lights. He was like one of these dudes in high school. And I think it's hard when you've had expectations your whole life to continue to live up to them. It's kind of just anti kind of Oklahoma play. I'm hooking them, boys.
What is our consensus record? Do we have that available?
Consensus record
4-6,
is,
right?
4-6
overall. About to move to 5-6.
About to move to 5-6. I like the way you think. All right, that's good. All right, so all on Texas. Next game, Ole Miss coming off an ass whooping to Alabama. Roll Tide for all you guys down there. The Alabama Carl, and Casey, everybody else. -5 against Arkansas, who kind of also got their ass whooped, but they had a disaster first quarter, got down 21-0, and really kind of not played them even, but they got shut out. So it looks really bad, but 37-0 to Georgia. I don't think there's no shame in either one of those ass whoopings. Sometimes people just better than you, and you can't do anything. Both good defenses. They proved it. Let's go to you first, Neuby. We'll go this way tonight. You're first. Layin or taken Ole Miss -5 at home versus Arkansas.
Now, people last week, now it wasn't me who was saying it, but people were saying like Ole Miss might have been worth a look on the money line last week. So there were like people who believe in this Ole Miss team. I'm not listening to them, but there are people who did. Yeah. I just, on principle, I cannot bet on Lane Kiffin. Actually, it's funny. I didn't even plan this. The people on the video, I have an Oakland Raiders glass that I'm drinking out of here. Because like when I grew up as a kid, I just like the Raiders. The silver and black drew to me. So I knew Lane Kiffin well. I can't. Just on principle, I never bet on Lane Kiffin. So Razorbacks getting the points. That's the look for me off of principle alone.
CH, the kid playing quarterback, Matt Corral, and it kind of gives me that Western kind of feel like we're going to go in the gun with Neuby. Corral. He was the Heisman Trophy leading candidate until he had to play that team, and he didn't look so good. His stats weren't too good. I don't know if he's still the leading candidate, if he's going to win it or not. Are you laying or taking in this game? Ole Miss -5, Arkansas. Total of 66.5 consensus line.
Yeah, I am laying the points here. I'm going to go with Ole Miss minus the 5.
Okay.
I hate 5, by the way. I always hate 5.
That's 5. I mean, Cinco.
5.
Yeah, it's bullshit, but it is what it is. It's a weird number. It always used to tell me in the book, nobody knows shit. And it really is true, because as the book, you're like, what do you make it? You can't make it 7. You can't make it 6.5. You can't make it 4, 4.5. It's put it 5 and see what they did.
Throw the old Donovan McNabb up there. Fuck it.
That's all. I'll take it. I'll take Arkansas. I just think close game. And I think Arkansas maybe has had a few more wins, but I know I was walking on the strip yesterday and I was talking to a couple from Arkansas. They're over the moon with this season already. They had a couple big wins at home, of which this couple was both at, and said it was great. Very excited that Arkansas football is back. For those of you listening down there in Arkansas, we appreciate you. Game number 3 of the 4, college football. Layin or taking Georgia -15 at Auburn. Let's circle back. Auburn somehow beat LSU last week. Georgia, again, destroyed Arkansas. Auburn's only loss on the season came at Penn State when they decided to throw a fade on 4th down. Still cannot figure out why, because they ran the ball down the field, but they lost in the whiteout at Happy Valley. That's the only loss. Nix is at home. Apparently he makes all his mistakes on the road. CH -15, Georgia Bulldogs. Laying or taking?
I'm laying again. 15 is a big number, but I'm going to lay it. I am. I'm going to lay it.
Okay. Well, I am immediately fading you and the Georgia Bulldogs. I am taking 15 points with Auburn. I think they're better than indications may have been before the season. They are going into this, according to your rankings here, which are the official rankings. Auburn is number 8 in the country. Georgia's number 2. And I'm getting over 2 scores, 15 points. I'm taking those points. Keep it close, Auburn. And don't really fuck it up yet by beating Georgia, but I like Auburn. Neuby, who you got? Laying or taking?
You know, I don't know how much stock I really put in the Auburn win against LSU. I really don't think LSU is all that good. I think Orgeron's kind of message is starting to roll stale in the locker room, which isn't surprising since you talk like you do from Waterboy. You know what I mean? You do. You know what I mean? So, like, it probably isn't that surprising that the players are like, dude, I can't fucking listen to this anymore. But Dave, do you have the total on this game on hand? Do you know what?
46.5.
So 46.5, because my question coming into this game is, can Auburn score on the Georgia defense? That's really the question for me. That kind of total, I don't know. That kind of tells me they can't score. So, you know, I think with a low total, it's going to be hard to cover these doubles, but I think Georgia gets it done. I'm with CH on this one. I'll lay the 15 with the Bulldogs.
It's like a math problem, right? What do you have to get to cover? I think Auburn has to get 14 points.
Okay.
Getting 15, that gets us to 29. So maybe it's 17. 17 is the cover number. If Auburn gets 17, that's a lot to ask, but they're at home. So you figure they're going to get at least a field goal and a touchdown. That's 10. And now we may have to get
Knicks is any good either too. But that's an interesting line right there. That's a good line.
Yeah. And the correlated parlay is favorite and over, dog and under in that situation. You can try that at your books. Some books might allow you to do it. It's probably not a bad play. If you like the dog, you can go under. If you like the favorite, go over. And because one is likely to happen, the other one is likelier to happen. And you're getting parlay odds on things that you probably, you know, we didn't allow it in the books where I ran. It had to be 3 times the spread. So, 46.5 makes it 3 times. 15 times 3 is 45. Never mind. Forget what I just said. You can do it anywhere.
Like a calculator.
Still a little insight, though. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
3 times the spread.
Yep. Last one. The game of the week. Iowa, apparently ranked number 3 in the country, is hosting the number 4 team in the country, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Holy shit. I was trading some texts with some people over the weekend after Penn State got that cover against Indiana. What do you make of the number? Penn State guy, Mr. Happy Valley, all this other shit that these guys all take their shots with. I'm not even going to say what some of them say because they're still giving me shit about shit I had nothing to do with. That's one neither here nor there. I said I'd make the line 2.5 and 41. One guy said he would make Penn State -1 because he wants them to bet Iowa because he thinks that Penn State is going to win the game. He's a Kentucky grad, Matty, great odds maker, tremendous bettor, like a really good dude. He's helping the boys over at WinBet, and he's doing some great things. Matt Lindemann, tremendous kid. Big Kentucky win for him last week as well. I don't know. I'm not that. I want Penn State to win. I really, really do. I just have seen this Penn State-Iowa game so many times, and it's just ugly. And this is Big Ten football, boys and girls. It's 40.5 current number. Ugly, slow, first half under. I mean, it's going to be blah. Speaking of first halves, just bet Bama over or Bama first half. Forgot about that. -10.5. They're playing Texas A&M. They're going to kick their ass. We talked about that. Go listen to that. 8 in the box. Oh, so many people listen to this show. So many people watch the show. I'm going to come on and fucking say Iowa's going to win. I can't believe it. This is part of the business that I hate because I'd be sitting in the book hoping we need Penn State and like, no, we're going to need Iowa or we need Iowa. And I got to sit there and pretend like I give a shit about the book winning. I want Penn State to win so bad. But my head tells me, I'll say it, I was going to win the game. I'll lay it -2. Neuby, you PA, save me from myself, please.
I mean, the thing is, though, exactly what you said is exactly the worry coming in, because this is the spot, not just the Penn State-Iowa spot that so many Nittany Lions fans have seen this game play out. And know the ending. This is the spot that Franklin has always struggled to overcome. You know what I mean? Real. Sure, lightning sometimes strike, but it's the ranked opponent on the road, big game. So, I kind of go with, this is kind of the mini version of what we do with 8 in the box. You and Brad Howe doing a great job. So I'm going to use one of Brad Howe's sayings, this is a show me game for Penn State. James Franklin and Penn State have to show me that they can do it. Now, on this year, in this segment, the one game that I keep picking right is the Penn State game. I haven't missed on a Penn State game yet this year, and Layin or taken here, and I don't plan on doing it now. I said from the get-go, from what we saw to begin the year and what we've continued to see, beating Auburn at home, shut out against, there was injuries last week, blah, 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 blah. Franklin and this Penn State team have been different all year. I think they stay different on the road. The market doesn't agree. The bad guys don't agree, but sometimes it's crazy. It's been a different year for Franklin. Franklin gets it done on the road. I will take the 2 points with Penn State.
We are. Yes.
Hey, that was a fun game too, man. Incredible atmosphere. I'm a Birds guy through and through. College football isn't really my thing. What an electric atmosphere, man. Stripe out, the coordination, the tailgating all day long.
Amazing.
Truly a great experience. Everybody says that their college has the best experience possible.
Yeah.
It was just a great time. Couldn't have been nicer people out there. So not just picking with my heart. I think that they're a live dog in this one.
CH, break the tie. Penn State +2, Iowa -2, Layin or taken in a game with 40.5 as the current total in the game.
I've got to be honest. That's the first time I've ever seen anyone celebrate Neuby picking their team.
There's first for everything. I was very happy. I was unaware that he's perfect on the Penn State game. So when he said that, I'm thinking, well, fucking pick Penn State, mother. Like, I didn't even send it in the chat. I was like, he better just go with the toe. Just pick Penn State. That's great. I'll take one for the team and fall on the sword. I'll pick Iowa if I got to mush him. Who you taking?
I'm taking Iowa.
Oh, so casual. I'm taking Iowa.
Sorry. Hey, man, I write this all down before the game so you don't talk me out of it. Here's the graphics department right there.
Okay, there it is. I've already written down.
It's a high budget right there. It is worth mentioning, but I'm the lone detractor here. everybody's all big into the trends, right, Dave? Everybody wants to know what the trends are.
The
2 games that I actually won last week in our Layin and Taken game was when I booked the group. It was when I had the Patriots and when I had the Cards. So I'll book you guys here and hope that trend continues.
That's it.
Can't lose sale of the day, the trend that cannot be turned away.
No, that's part of the show. That's what I mean. Sometimes, again, I say it all the time, and I got people coming up to me when I'm out like, hey, Consig, I love what you do on Twitter and this and that, and nobody knows shit. Like, it's really happening. So, I mean, between Shars, Josh, and you guys are doing an unbelievable job with all of this stuff. Let's get the merch going. I've been asked already 10 times, where's the Nobody Knows Shit shirt? It's coming. It's absolutely coming. They're going to start designing it with the logo and all this stuff. Nobody knows shit. Should we, say a hashtag? I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it's coming. So thanks, Neuby, for picking Penn State. It's really appreciate you. All right. Let's get to the pro segment here in 1 second. Before we do, I just want to mention the East Coast sports investors. Have you ever wondered what 30 plus years of sports wagering experience and a #1 ranked sports investors in the world, according to Google, first page looks like? It is www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. Your sports leaders delivered to you via text and email. What better time to meet the ECSI family? College football has started. NFL football has started. Here comes the NBA and NHL. Daily grind of MLB playoffs is here. There's still golf available, but it's coming wide to the end of the golf season. He had a great golf season. He's Jeff Dawson. He says, still have questions? Ask the real Vegas Dave. No, not that guy with the goat whale play and all that shit, which, by the way, now people are DMing me pictures of his plays, of his signs, and of his Instagram. I want to thank you. Fuck him. I am the Vegas Dave, apparently, Mr. Sharapan. No I in team, just winning profits. See you at the winner's circle. That's Jeff Dawson. Follow along with him on Twitter at East Coast Sports Investors. We do the breakfast bankroll. Newby's done the show. Believe me, if this little Boston thing continues, apparently CH and him are going to do a little breakfast bankroll and celebrate that. Okay.
Jeff had the Sox last night.
He did.
He had the Sox. He had Schwarber hitting a home run.
Yeah, he had a nice little
good night for Jeff.
It was very, very good. Yes, absolutely. All right. We got to go there. Take us away. What do you got, Dan Alexander, Newbert at Neuby Talks?
Oh, that's right. I know what you're thinking. You're listening to the Cash Considerations podcast. You're thinking I'm an hour into the show and they're just getting the gun. We told you take the over, so put the coffee on the pot. Put the women and children to bed. It's time for In the Gun, the most rootin', tootin' football segment this side of the Mississippi. Woo! Man, that gets me jacked up. Gets me pumped up. At the Penn State tailgate, random aside here, guys. You know how like football people, like they do like the smelling salts? They like get them like jacked up, like it's like ammonia or whatever. Dude, somebody at the tailgate had a smelling salt. So like before we went to the game, he cracked that thing. That got me jacked the fuck up. I might need to buy like a box of them and just like rip it before we start the In the Gun segment. Cause you think I got energy once that music starts. A smelling salt, like, dude, these people must be able to lift a car after that. I don't know. Have you ever seen any of those, or like before hockey games, ever smell one of those bad boys or anything? Cause it's electric.
I got rung up once and they gave me one on the bench because I kept shaking my head. Apparently I had a concussion, but they were like, are you good? And the trainer weighed it a little bit and I was like, oh man, it lit me up. It was the only time I ever did. But after the show tonight, I think I'm going to go to Walgreens and pick some up just because you said that. Like I'm going to say to Jess, you know what? I think I may have been onto something. Neuby just gave us something on the podcast. I'm going to go buy some smelling salts. So when I'm tired after hour number 6 on the air somewhere, like, oh, crack that thing open. Let's go.
Brings you back. It brings you back. And we are saying smelling salts, not bath salts, not the things that turn people into zombies, all that good stuff. So, just clarifying there. All right, boys, let's get into it. And usually we do it 6-shooter style, but no guest means when a guest is away, the boys are going to play. We got an 8-pack for you today, folks. So let's get it going with the team that fucked us all over. We were 1-0 on our unanimous plays until we all decided to be dumbasses and take the shitbag Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles now on the road, -3.5. CH, I'm going to throw it your way first on this one. Total 45, Panthers 3.5-point favorites coming off the loss to Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going against the shitbag Eagles here. I think I said it last week. I'm gonna say it. Maybe I didn't say it last week. I don't know. I probably just think it all the
You
time.
didn't say it
Just-
like that. That was say that again.
yeah, I think it's like a mantra. Just go against the shitbag Eagles. Go against the shitbag Eagles. I'm going against the shitbag Eagles. Carolina's pretty good. 3-1 against the spread. I'll take the Panthers.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Dave, what about you? Shitbag Eagles. It's the name of the segment here. What are we thinking?
Pretty easy. Go against the shitbag Eagles. I mean, I don't have to think about it. I'm going to keep. So picking the games on Wednesdays, it's really interesting. I was looking at the standings and the records and stuff. It's a struggle. It's hard. So these are our leans. You got to follow us on Twitter. He's at Carl Hascall on Twitter, up over the 300 mark. At Neuby Talks on Twitter. Follow along. The banter back and forth is worth it alone, but we'll put out some plays. We'll put out some things. You can interact with us. We're very open and, enjoy the back and forth. If you're going to be an asshole, you will get blocked. Nobody cares. Seriously, nobody gives a shit. So you can say what you want. You want to be a jerk off. You can say it to the people. We can't even see you. I'm taking against the Eagles. I bought in last week. Sorry, Norm. Sorry, Nate. I can't wait for basketball season to start. It's probably going to be shitbag Sixers too, but until that starts, give me against the Eagles. Was it Panthers -3.5? I'm taking it.
Yeah, 3.5 opened at 4. So people are betting the Eagles.
Again.
I don't know. Every week they do it. Like,
Yep.
I feel like
There you
Eagles
go.
are one of the most sneaky public plays week in and week out.
No, you know what they are? They're a wise guy affectionate.
I don't get that.
There's
It's-
always value on these teams because they're supposed to be better. That's who's moving that number. They don't know shit either.
Yeah, I mean that does happen where like sometimes those wise guys angles are right and they end up making a bunch of money throughout the season, but they just fall in love with these teams and refuse to move off. I feel like one of the biggest things you need to be, especially in the NFL, is fluid. Like if you have the same exact view on a team from your preseason rankings to where the season ends up closing, you're not going to have a good season.
Yep,
So
they could bury you.
Yeah,
one or two teams the same thought without adjusting could bury you. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep on moving here, boys. The story in this game is the total. This ain't no preseason football when the Broncos are visiting the Steelers and you have a total of 39.5. What the hell is that? Steelers, the 1-point favorite. So Dave, before we'll throw it your way last, since you are the Steelers fan, you get to get the last word on it.
Oh, great.
Bigger story has to be the total of 39.5. I mean, I think probably the look for me in this game would be over just on principle alone, even though I know that's square as hell, line's low for a reason. Steelers are a dumpster fire. Kind of funny that we were just talking about the bad guys and the wise guys and stuff they fall in love with, because Drew Lock's going to be starting this game. That was a guy they loved last year. They were all about Broncos over this, over that.
Yep.
This game sucks because the Steelers are so bad. I lean Broncos on this one, but they threw up a pick 'em. They threw up a 1 because nobody wants to book this game. Nobody wants to bet this game. Nobody wants to watch this game. Broncos at the Steelers. I lean Broncos. What say you, CH?
So funny.
Nobody's got any interest in this game. That's pretty funny.
I mean, it's the Steelers game, so it has to be included. And I understand why it's there, and there are some interesting spots, but Steelers have just been so hard to watch this year, man. I mean, I watch all the teams; they've been brutal to watch.
Funny thing is, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with the Broncos. I am. Ben, just one of these days, he's just gonna slow collapse, and like an arm's gonna fall off, a leg's gonna fall off, and he's just gonna be completely disassembled on the field. Exactly. I don't know that it'll be this week, but it's gonna be this year at some point. I'll go with Denver.
What about you, Dave? You get the final say. We go from one shitbag PA team to another one. What are we thinking, Broncos?
Oh, this is a killer. I had them against the Bengals. Didn't work out so well. I knew last week was not the spot to take them. I'm going to fall for it again. Them at home against Denver, who, got exposed, and now we get Locke instead of – if it was Teddy, I think I'm playing Denver. It's not Teddy. It's Drew Lock. I'm taking the Steelers. And I don't really like it at all. but I'm going to do it. Give me Pittsburgh -1.
I don't hate it because I can't figure out this game. And this will be one of the ones that people are throwing in their teasers. This is such a dumb teaser spot for the Broncos. If you're teasing them up, just play them on the spread. That's a dumbass play.
Yeah.
Packers now going to the Bengals. And yes, Carl has in the notes that it is Bengals with an E, not with an A. I'm never
say it wrong every time. Just
every time.
It's
I don't, in my head, I don't think I can actually say, how is it supposed to be pronounced?
Bengals, like some guy named Ben. You got to know, like Ben.
Not bang. It's not bang like shoot, like you think in the gun.
Yeah.
Bang. You say Bangles every time. It's not
so what
Bangles.
Is it? Bengals? Bengals? That's not right. I think I'm right. I think
it's the Bengals.
I think it's the Bengals. But regardless,
we got to have Walk Like an Egyptian queued up on a board. I mean, we just have to.
There's such better Bengals songs than just Walk Like. I think that one's severely overrated. But that's for another time. Maybe for take a minute. Packers taking on the Bengals. Packers -3 on the road, total of 51. CH, so I don't have to say their fucking name anymore. You're batting lead off on this one. Who are we taking?
I'll say their name because I'm going to take the points. I'll take the Bengals, the Bongles, whatever we're going to call them. I'm taking Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati.
Man, it's like a mental block. Bengals. All right, Dave, where are you going in this one, man?
I know the move came on the Bengals, but not buying it. I mean, long week, it all makes sense. Give me Aaron Rodgers -3 in a short number against a team that was trailing Jacksonville, needed everything in their power. For all of you that picked them in the survivor pools and stayed alive for another week on the Bengals, give me Green Bay -3.
Dave, what was the opener on this one? How you were saying there was, a move coming towards Cincinnati?
There was as high as a 3.5.
Okay, so it hasn't been like anything like crazy drastic.
No.
Because that's what I was wondering, because where I was looking at a couple different spots and I saw that same thing. It was like a half point, but a half point move, that could be one bet. This is, since we don't have a guest, it kind of allows us to kind of pick your brain on some more like this betting. Like, why hasn't this line moved? Because this line to me just screams everybody, once they check their app and see that Aaron Rodgers only -3 against the Cincinnati team, they're just going to hammer Aaron Rodgers in this one. So like, if everybody's betting it and that's the right side, like how come this is just still sitting at 3?
You bet NFL games in the beginning of the week. You've told us that, right?
Neuby? Yeah. Sunday night, I get in probably 65 to 70% of my bets.
CH, when you bet an NFL game, when do you bet it?
Late Saturday, Sunday morning.
Late Saturday, Sunday morning.
Unless something really jumps out at me that I want to grab early in the week.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's late Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever. 90% of the bets on NFL games come in on Sunday. So very rarely is anyone betting this stuff during the week while we're talking about it. They're consuming it. I mean, newbies, you've got a plan, and I respect the hell out of that. I used to do the same thing. If I saw something I really liked, I played it, but otherwise I waited until Saturday. I felt like I had more, like last year we were doing stuff
a little bit.
Yeah. And like last year I got burned a couple times. Like, I took Denver at home against the Saints plus 5.5 or 6 in a game that they ended up not having a quarterback for, and the game closed 16. And I was like, shit, I thought the number was good at 6. I ended up taking 16 and getting handed, my ass. So I wait. But more people wait than don't. So the moves you see during the week are usually limit plays.
Okay.
Which they don't always win, but they're moving the number. Not a lot of people. This isn't public moving these numbers Monday through Thursday. You open up limits on Thursday, and now, that's the general public. And it's still to this day, the general public does not move a number. They'll sit and take Green Bay -3 bets, just like they did last week on New England -5.5, 6, 6.5, all the way up to 7 until they get to the number. they've got to the number. It's 3. It's not dropping below 3. It's gonna sit there, and the books are gonna be like, every time we go to 3.5, one of those guys bets it. The books are in with Cincinnati. Whether it wins or not, we'll see what happens. That's how we get to 3.
Now, see, that's why it's great checking out the Cash Considerations podcast, because you're not getting that anywhere else. Dave Sharapan with the insight knowledge right there.
Yeah.
That being said, I have to go with Cincinnati here, getting the points. I think that they're good enough that they could be alive against the Packers defense. So if you're going to give me a home dog, even with Aaron Rodgers coming to town, I think they probably end up winning the game, but I'm just going to take the 3 points because the Bengals aren't a bad team. And yes, I know I said Bengals. I was even trying to say Bengals. Bears.
You see him seeing? He was thinking. He was trying so hard, and he still said fucking Bengals.
You know he's going to call him Cincinnati the whole rest of the season. He's not even going to try it after.
Yeah, just
not if they win. If they win, he'll be calling them Bengals.
I'm just going to call him Joey B and Co. That's the best way to do it.
There you go.
Now, 2 teams that I know I can pronounce. It's the Bears taking on the Raiders. Raiders minus 5.5 point favorites. I haven't gone first yet, so I'll bat lead off here, guys, and then I'll throw it your way, Dave. Total is 44. This one's just tough because, yes, we know the Bears are no good, but we also have zero clue if the Raiders are any good. You know, and this game, talking about line moves, opened 7 and is down to 5.5. I mean, is Justin Fields being announced the starters really that great of a thing that they're going to be like swinging the whole entire pendulum? You know, when I see my line moves that I don't really understand, I stay away. In this case, I'm going to go the other way. I'll take the Raiders. I'll lay the 5.5. That would be my look. But again, it's not something that's probably going to be making my betting card. What are you thinking in this one, Dave?
So Uncle Smoke is bringing the nephews up, and there's a hockey tournament, and he ended up getting tickets to this game here in town. So I don't know. I may be going to an NFL game against my will. I'm not sure. But if I'm there, I'll get at least a feel for the home field advantage. The number was 7 because it was a number that would be there if the Raiders won on Monday night. They did not. So the money comes and you lower the number against the Bears because the Bears won with Fields, and now they name Fields, so it doesn't have to move. It's already set.
Gotcha.
Books are just trying to find that number. In that regard, I'm taking the points as well. Not excited about it, but I still don't believe what I see with the Raiders. Yes, they've had a good start to the season. The Chargers, I think, are an elite team. I think the Chargers are probably top 5. And we'll get to them in a little bit. But the Raiders are not. I think Fields keeps it close. I think the Bears have a shot to win the game, plus the points for me.
So I'm laying with the Raiders. He's taking with the Bears. CH, you got to break the tie, my man. Where are you going in the Raiders-Bears matchup?
Knock if you're with me. I'm going against the Raiders. I'm going to take the Bears. I think Vegas wins the game, but not by the 5.5. I think 5.5 is a good number. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with the Andy Dalton. Oh, wait, Andy Dalton's not the quarterback when he comes back, is he?
No.
Funny how that worked out. He's the quarterback. Oh, no, he's not the quarterback.
He's not.
Did you say you didn't like 5 in the college Lander taken, but 5.5 is a good number in this?
Yeah, the hook, man. That's a half a point. That's pretty big.
Oh, all right. I just want to make sure you said that. Go ahead. Sorry, Neuby.
It depends if he likes the dog or if he likes the favorite. That's the difference. You want to be getting any kind of hook on. They talk all about the key numbers, Dave. I'm pretty sure 5.5, nowhere near being a key number.
No key for 5.5. There's no key.
Sports book, yeah. So Brown's taking on the Chargers halfway through the most Brown's taking on the Chargers.
There's a guy named Lars Nootbaar on deck right now for the Cardinals. Where do they find these guys? It's 1-1 in the top of the 8th, and someone named Lars Nootbaar is up. I just wanted to point that out. Sorry, Neuby, back to you.
He's part of the Fig Newton fortune. He's distant second relative. His father worked in the
Fig Newton's from Newton, Massachusetts.
There you go. There you go. It's always somehow ties
Mr.
back
Good
up
bar?
fucking north. God damn it. Browns taking on the Chargers. Chargers 1.5-point favorites total, 47 in this one. CH, we're going your way as the Chargers and Justin Herbert just continue to roll, man. Continue to cover spreads. What are you thinking, my man?
This is why I write down my picks before the game, because Dave just said about 30 seconds ago how good the Chargers are. I've already got the Browns written down. I think this is a big Nick Chubb game, and I'm going with the Browns.
Excellent. I haven't gone in the sandwich spot, so I'll slide in here. I think this is going to be a damn good game. I think in this game, I would probably be more looking towards the over, just because 47, I think that's crazy low. Opened at 50.5. I think both of these offenses can score, especially with Justin Herbert. I am going with I'm going Browns plus 1.5 in this one. I'm with you. This is one of those kind of square teasers that I probably would play and take the Browns on up, because I think the Chargers, sure, they might win, but Browns aren't bad, man. And I think they've kind of sneakily gone under the radar with how actually good that they've gone this year, because everybody's talking about the Bills and everybody's talking about how bad the Chiefs are. Browns really haven't been that big narrative piece yet. And if they win this game, the secret's going to be out on them, and they probably won't be getting points for much longer. I'll go Browns plus 1.5.
All right. I'll go Chargers minus 1.5. It's
you
the
got
Browns.
the jerseys.
Yeah, it's a Browns third game in a row on the road. And that's a long time thing in the book that you bet against. Now, the Chargers looked, I thought, excellent, both beating the Chiefs and holding home field against the Raiders. I think the game stays under. I think it plays more like Cleveland played at Minnesota.
Grind it out.
Tight game defensively. And I mean, maybe Baker makes a mistake to give them the game. I think Chubb is due for a big game, but I think the Chargers win. Give me minus 1.5.
49ers as we keep on moving, and we're going right back your way, Dave, as the Niners are on the road against Cardinals. Total is 50 points. Cardinals minus 5.5 points. Home chalk. What are you thinking in this one, Dave?
I mean, shit. It looks like the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's what I've heard. If you haven't listened, I've been on shows and listened to shows, and everybody says the Cardinals are, best team in the NFC. Candidate to win the Super Bowl, Kyler Murray's MVP. Not for me. No one's going to take San Francisco, yet the number's 5.5. Makes no sense. We don't know if Lance is playing. We don't know if Jimmy G's playing. I'm taking the points. Just give me 5.5. As soon as Jimmy G's announced that he ain't playing, he'll probably go up to 7. And then that's when the bad guys will come in. I'll jump them in line. Give me San Francisco plus 5.5.
All right, CH, what do you think? Another 5.5 game. You get your favorite number when we have no catch. You really get to really break down the 5.5 spreads. Where are you going in this one, Carl's? The Cardinals, the 5.5 point favorite.
Man, I hate this number. I have to be honest. The Cardinals are the reason why I write down all my picks now, because when we did our NFC West preview, somebody went before me and talked me out of the Cardinals. And I had the Cardinals in my head that I was going to pick them to win the division. I should have said it. Instead, I went on and I apologized to my cousin Ryan out in Phoenix when I said the Cardinals aren't going to win the division. The Cardinals are going to win this division. They are going to win this game, and they are going to win it by 5.5.
Ooh, I like that. Now, the thing is,
pretty assertive, wasn't it?
It was really good. That was good presentation.
Like he's becoming a pro. I mean, for never having done this, we're celebrating what is it, a 6-month anniversary last week of you being on the show, or 1 year?
We're coming up on a year. Come on, man.
I mean, you're
if I could just figure out how to use this mute button, I'd be all set.
One day. The funny thing is I'm glad that I had my notes down too, because verbatim what I have here is this Cardinals team is winning the Super Bowl now, since they beat the team that everybody told you was winning the Super Bowl now in the Rams, right? The same exact narratives that Dave was laying out there about Kyler Murray MVP, Super Bowl, get your tickets in now. It was the same shit we were hearing the first 3 weeks about Matt Stafford and the Rams. It's overreaction Monday. It's overreaction Tuesday. Overhype on the Cards is causing a pretty big line move. Give me the dog in this one, plus 5.5. I'm with Dave, taking the points with the Niners on the road. I don't care who's playing quarterback. That line's just too fishy for me. We're going to move to Sunday Night Football. It's prime time here in the gun. That's why we told you, get damn coffees on the pots. The Bills taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites. I'll go first on this one, guys. The Bills, I think, yes, the whole revenge narrative in the NFL, maybe one of the most overblown narratives outside of East Coast team hosting a West Coast team, all the fucking genius trends that you can't go against. I think that there actually is some revenge in this one. Bills have lost 2 straight to the Chiefs, and what's worse than getting your season ended when you were finally all believing? I think that the Bills are legit. I think that there haven't really been many spots where they haven't lived up to expectations, laying doubles last week and cover it and then some. The bad guys agreed when this thing opened at 4, and it's all the way down to 2.5. Now that's a line move I was talking about. Sometimes I don't understand line moves. I get this one. The Chiefs just continue to get by on reputation. Last week's game was way closer than the final score indicated. Them as a short favorite, probably going to be pretty popular once people get some bets in. But I love the Bills in a teaser. I love the Bills plus 2.5. I love the Bills on the money line. I think the Bills end up winning this game Sunday night. What say you, CH?
Ditto. Almost everything you just said. The only thing I'd add is in my spreadsheet over here that I have breaking down this game, I've got Kansas City as the number 31 rushing defense and the number 32 passing defense.
Jeez.
That's not going to work very well. And that's not going to work well for them this week. I like Buffalo all over the place. Tease them up, tease them down, tease them sideways, take the money line, everything. Buffalo.
Ooh, I like that. Are we a Bills show this week? Is the blue not just for the Dodgers, or are you throwing a little water on the fire here, Dave? We're both on the Bills. Are we going unanimous here, or where are you looking? Chiefs short favorites at home.
He just said, like, Bills, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. I don't know if they're going to need a body bag. Like, I don't know. I listen to that now and I'm like, wait a second. I was going to pick the Bills too, but is it that goddamn easy? Like, I literally am changing my mind, and I don't have notes. I probably should start writing notes, but I'm going to bet the Chiefs. Neuby, you were at the game, right? That was your third leg of your
the 3-team parlay, and then of course it's always the last game in the parlay that doesn't cash, right? Well, it cashed for me because I took the Kansas City Chiefs, even though I picked them on the show. I ended up putting the bet on the Chiefs there. They're not that good, man. I'll tell you. The Eagles defense is that bad, giving up the 5 touchdowns. I think that was a little bit of a mirage. I think they figure it out a little bit more, but the Chiefs are they're just skating by, man. Like they didn't have to do much to win that game. And if it weren't for a Josh Sweat jumping off sides in the 4th quarter when the Eagles were still only 5 points away,
correct.
You're looking at a whole different situation here. I really don't think the Chiefs they're getting by on mystique right now. And this is a chance for the Bills to get revenge. I don't think it's a good spot for the Chiefs for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Because this is their lowest point. You know what I mean? Like when was the last time you got to lay 2.5 with the Chiefs at home? You know what I mean?
It's been 2 seasons.
They've struggled covering. Is this finally when they get right? I could see it, but I think the Bills are too live in this game for me to lay. That's what it comes down to.
All right. So I'm on with Carl Neuby. Just come here and say hello. Yes, come here. Come here. Just come in and say hello. You can just wave. You don't have to say anything.
Let's go. She got the blue on too.
Yeah, there she is. All right. She didn't want to come in like she's talking to somebody she don't know. It's unbelievable. Chiefs minus 2.5. Give me go.
Boom. That's it. It's easy. Money in the bank. Monday Night Football. It's Carson Wentz under the lights. Yeah. Ravens -7. Ravens 7-point favorites in this one. Dave, I'm going right back your way before anybody else comes in and interrupts your show. What are you going in this one, brother?
I mean, every time I want to pick against the Ravens, all they do is win every single time. Like, Denver at home last week. Although we knew in my head that the Ravens were the side when we did the show, I think I still picked Denver like a schmuck. Well, I'm not doing it again. Give me Baltimore -7. I don't believe in the Colts. They went and beat Miami. Who gives a shit? Ravens -7's good. Teaser, that will be a huge teaser special. A lot of books are going to need the Colts to cover, at least, stay within 10, 12, 13 points, whatever, to cover the teasers. But I'm confident lay 7.
All right, CH, what are you thinking? Ravens, the 7-point favorites on Monday Night Football. Where are you going, CH?
Well, just like I said earlier, that one of these days, Roethlisberger's arms and legs are going to fall off. I think Carson Wentz's feet are just going to come out from under him one time. He's going to get sacked, and he's going to get up to get back in the huddle, and they're going to realize his Nikes are still on the ground, 5 feet away. I'm going Baltimore.
All right, so you guys know I know all about Carson Wentz. Yeah. It's well documented. Go back, listen to.
Look, even his eyes are all dreamy. You see that?
I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm a former hunter. I don't know what it is. The guy actually is, for what it's worth, at his absolute best. I mean, the best that Carson Wentz has left, I guess, when he's in prime time for whatever reason, and especially Monday Night Football. 4-2 on Monday Night Football in his career, 11 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So I don't think this is going to be one of those games where it's a Wentz train wreck and he's a reason that the Colts lose. I saw plenty of them when he was with the Eagles that it was one of those games. He's also been really good against the Ravens. And I know it's hard. It's apples to oranges because these are stats with the Eagles, but in games that he's played the Ravens, and specifically, with John Harbaugh, he played Flacco once, played Lamar once, same exact result. He's lost by a total of 3 points in those games. 2 points the one time, 1 the other, and both of them were kind of comebacks. So I also think that the Ravens aren't as good as everybody thinks they are just yet. 0-2 this year is a favorite, failing to cover those games by an average of 7.2 points. Yes, I did some research. When Wenson is in the game, I'm pulling some numbers here. There are also some serious luck guys away from being 1-3. And if that were the case, if they were 1-3, they wouldn't be laying a touchdown even against the Colts team that's kind of struggled. I think they kind of have that motivation factor. Backs against the wall. They finally got some momentum. I'll book it, and I'll go with the Colts +7 to the surprise of no one. I'm backing Carson Wentz. Why do I do it to myself? We'll cover that on next week's episode of Why the Fuck I Go with Carson Wentz every time. But folks, it's time. Wait, what were you about to say, CH? I pulled the trigger a little too quick.
I was going to say, if you're interested, you can still get Carson Wentz as MVP at 200 to 1.
Nice price.
Yeah, I already have my $50 tied up on that through my tears when he was traded, I placed, and I still regret to this.
Same number as Mac Jones, by the way.
Well, I actually think Mac Jones might be a little more live for what it's worth. Let's go, boys. Beautiful cash considerations, listeners. It's time for one total, one side, and one prize. You take me to a karaoke bar, it's over. It's finito.
Oh my God.
One total, one side, one prop. I finally get to go first, guys, and it's basically off of a technicality. It's off to, thanks to Justin Tucker and his giant ass boot. Thank God I didn't go with the Miles Sanders carries. I head fake because of the line move. Line move didn't matter. They don't run the ball in Philadelphia. Broncos didn't even have a field goal last week. So taking Justin Tucker to have the longest field goal in the game at even money, pretty easy when the other team doesn't even attempt a field goal. Full admission, though, did go 1-2. Dave goes 1-2. He hit his total. CH and Rob with some tough weeks, but only up to go, boys, which is why I'm going 3-0 this week. It's happening. Parlay them together. It's going to be live. Jets, Falcons is my total, and I am going over the 46 points. It might be a little square, but the Jets only average 11.8 points per game, right? But there were 2 games that they scored 6 points or fewer. So I think that number is actually a little bit misleading. And also, I look at this Atlanta team. It's a team who comes into the game ranked 26th in the league in net yards gained per pass attempt. They're 22nd in rush yards per attempt, and that's what they're allowing defensively. So an offense that kind of last week realized they can move the ball in the Jets. I'm thinking they have some opportunities to do exactly that. I think the perception of these two teams is giving us a low total of 46. So my play in the total, the side, the prop, I'm going over 46 in London. Hopefully jet lag not a problem for the Jets and Falcons game. My side, and I think plug your noses, listeners, viewers, however you're consuming the show. My side this week, guys, is the Giants +7. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. And Carl had a reaction. So I'm looking for it. Was this on your sheet, Carl? Tell me this was on your sheet.
We'll get to it.
All right. Because I thought you guys were going to look at me and be like, Neuby, are you kidding? You can pick any game on the board and somehow you're coming up with the Giants.
No.
Well, hear me out. And I'm hoping I'm not stealing anybody's thunders, but the Giants are actually 2-0 this year as away underdogs. And I know small sample size 2-0, it doesn't mean shit, right? They covered those games by an average of more than 8 points. So, if you go by margin of victory, they're kind of undervalued. And for as much flack as I give the head coach of the Giants, Joe Judge, this dude knows how to get his team ready to play on the road. Since 2020, when he came on board, they are tied for first in the league. Their road ATS record 8-2 when they're traveling on the road. He's also kind of good at knowing his division opponents. They're playing the Cowboys this week. This blew my mind when I pulled this one, guys. Giants 6-1 against the spread in division under Joe Judge. This guy actually, he can't coach worth shit, but he knows his in-division opponents. They're covering 85.7% of their NFC East games. That's the best in the league over that span. Now, for contrast, the Cowboys, bottom 5 during the same 2 years with Mike McCarthy, 28.6 their games in division. So you might want to hold your nose. New York Football Giants +7. That's my best bet on the side here, which brings us to the prop, which actually I've not been bad on the props. Luckily, Justin Tucker helped me out there. I'm going back to the Eagles game, and I'm going Sam Darnold under 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's actually plus money right now on DraftKings. Now, let me start, guys, by saying this is no way an endorsement of the Eagles defense because they're terrible. But prior to last week where Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns, they only gave up 4 passing touchdowns, and that was against Matt Ryan and the Falcons, Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers, and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. I know that everybody's kind of in love with Sam Darnold right now, but I would argue that all 3 of those quarterbacks are better than him, or at least on par in the case of Garoppolo. Where the Eagles are really getting killed is the run game. Over 600 yards total allowed. That's second to last in the league. So if you're the Panthers, why pass the ball? Run the ball. Tick, tick, tick your way to a win. Sam Darnold under 1.5 passing touchdowns +130 is my prop. So you got the Giants +7, you got over 46.5 or over 46, in the Jets and Falcons, and you got Sam Darnold under 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus money. That is my total, my side, my prop. And I'm sorry if I stole some shit from CH right there. so CH, I'm going right your way, brother.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Really?
We have is this our first ever
It is
against each other?
Head to head.
It's our actual first shootout right here. Bam, 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 bam.
In the gun.
It's a duel, 10 paces, turn around. Yeah, I mean, everything you outlined is great, but I just look at the Cowboys offense against the Giants defense. I just can't see them stopping. Obviously, it's not like they're going to score 12 touchdowns, but just again, looking at my numbers, I said Cleveland's the number 2 rushing offense. I think I said earlier. Cowboys are number 1 against the number 26 rushing defense. I mean, come on. I think Zeke and Dak and Amari are going to have big days. So that's my side.
I love that.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Head, baby. Somebody's winning, and when one of us wins, the whole podcast wins.
That's
maybe
right.
Maybe we should just pick opposite each other on every game. Someone will end up with a
Wait, that's how these handicappers do that shit. They're scammy guys that sell picks. Don't do that shit. You can't do that shit. No.
So, and if you listeners and you viewers are smart, you're going out there right now and you're saying this is going to land on the number.
Oh, if
oh.
this pushes CH, you and I have to chug a beer on next week's show. Live on the show.
Maybe we should just do it anyway.
Maybe.
Stalemate. Dallas -7. Should go bet it myself.
That's right. I'm actually going to go for my total. I'm actually going to go with tomorrow night's game. So everyone, make sure you listen early. Listen early on Thursday so you get this. I don't know how the fuck you're going to know that unless you're already listening to the show. I'm going with the Rams. There you go. Rams and Seahawks under 54.5. Under. I hate picking unders. I think I took an under last week. I'm taking another one this week.
Wow.
And then I'm going to come out of left field with this one. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes over 1/2 of an interception. He's thrown a pick this week. The last 3 weeks, he's thrown 1, 2, and 1 interception against some shitty teams.
Yeah.
Against some shitty teams. So he's thrown 4 picks the last 3 games. Those picks came against the Ravens, Chargers, and the Eagles for their 1 interception they have on the season.
It's their worst player who got it too.
Yeah. So I'm going Cowboys -7, Rams, Seattle under. I hate unders, 54.5, and Mahomes to throw a pick at +110.
Like it. +110. So a little
only plus props on this side of the house.
I
Only
like
plus
that.
props.
I started doing the same thing because some of those motherfuckers get chalky, man. Like you're looking at a prop and they just because they don't move the number. They just say, yeah, fuck you. Here's -200. Bet it if you want, dickhead. So Dave, what are you thinking? It's the total, it's the side, it's the prop. I don't care what order you go in. Just tell the folks where you're going, my man.
I gotta do it in a certain order because I'm too confused to do it any other way. So I do side total prop, which was I thought the name of the segment, but sometimes it's total side prop. Either way, the introduction gets me excited, just like a goddamn smelling salt. I mean, I hear that music and I see you moving like this, and I'm moving. I can't wait. By the way, the baseball game's 1-1 in the top of the 9th. This is a hell of a sweat. When they set up this, when they set up this Twitch channel, it's going to be amazing. Us watching a game together, talking about the in game and what we see and what we say, and we give each other shit about that. That's a whole nother story we're going to get to. Also, by the way, MLB Network is doing a watch party show I'm going to be a part of. Details will come out on Twitter. That's going to be fun. Keith Irizarry, Matt Stryker, me, some other people. It's going to be, we'll see what they have planned. I don't know exactly yet. Details. Anyway, side total prop. Sorry, I got confused. Side is going to be the Chargers. I'm going to play a simple trend, one of these things. It's a 3-game road trip. I can't wait actually for Sunday to watch this game or at least see some of it. The afternoon time slot has been great. It was last week. The games kind of all went over, played out differently. Chargers -1.5 is my side.
Okay.
My total, and I'm an under guy. The show is an over show. I like unders. I've had success with unders. When I go over, I don't really have that much success. I want to go under the Steeler game so bad, under 40. I think that would normally be my side or my total. But instead, I'm going to go over because sometimes you got to change things up. I missed last week. I'm going to go over. Over Buffalo, Kansas City. I don't know who's stopping who in the game. I'm tired of trying to guess when. The Eagles scored 28 against the Chiefs last week. Carl just gave us the numbers. Their defense sucks, just like the Red Sox. Somehow, the Red Sox keep winning when Carl says their defense, or when he says they suck. I'm going to try a page out of CH's book and say the Chiefs defense sucks. I'm going over. My prop. Now, I did a lot of real strong research on this. No, I did not. I went to the first game I could find one, and I went and said, what am I going to look at here?
I kind of do the same shit, to be honest.
I can't find them what time of day they're up, they're not. It's a pain in the ass us doing a show on a Wednesday for the goddamn props because the books are like, we ain't putting the props up till Friday because you jerk offs are betting them and you're using us, et cetera, et cetera. So I did a real strong deep dive research into this one. No, I did not. I'm going Cooper Kupp, 125 receiving yards and 1 touchdown scored. on DraftKings available. It's 5-1. All I need is one of these goddamn things to come in, and it makes up for 5 losing weeks, and I'm playing with the house money. So there's my shot. I'm surprised CH said under, because 1, you very rarely do say under, but 2, you said under in a game where I picked a prop where I need a receiver to get 100 yards and score a touchdown. Not really making me feel great, but I'll take it. Side total prop Chargers over in the Buffalo Kansas City game. I hope they get 100 points. I don't give a shit who wins. And Cooper Kupp, 125 yards and a touchdown tomorrow night. We're all over the board. Back to you, sir.
And that is a wrap on the most root-tootin' football segment this side of the Mississippi in the gun. Thanks for riding with us. And it's going to be a perfect week for me, at least. Anybody who picked against me, you're in the crosshairs. Town ain't big enough for the both of us. Back to you, David.
That took a shot right at you.
I know.
He stuck. He counted 9 steps and said, "Fuck, you'll shoot you right now." He didn't go to 10.
I was already committed to it. Like as it was coming out, I was like, "Yeah, man, it's like you know, you. It's not like you're fucking blowing anybody away with your pick." So I don't know what the fuck you're cutting a Hulk Hogan promo for on CH. Like, I was already committed to it though. That's not me though. That guy takes over my body. That's Big Montaigne.
Did you see one of the listeners, Shawno, I believe it is, who's fantastic interacting with us on Twitter? And hopefully, Shawno, you listen to the show, tweet out that, we called you out. We really appreciate everybody that listens. If I'm trying to remember as we do the show, and like we're really over tonight, which is fine because this is our show and we really appreciate you listening. But he put the rootin' tootin', he said rootin' tootin', and he did the guns thing on the Twitter. That was so funny. I just laugh every week because it sounds like you need a lozenge after you say it every time. Shout out to our friend Kevin Walsh and Donnie Rightside, who I do the show with on Sports Grid and Sirius XM 204, and also have been on this show, Cash Considerations. So great stuff. Hopefully the picks will be better than they were last week. If they weren't, you guys will figure it out. Right. Nobody knows shit anyway. And if you think we don't, fade the picks. That's fine too. We don't care. We're going to be here doing the show. And we, again, thank you for listening. All right. One segment left. We're going to, again, Carl's Corner is out. We got to wrap it, pass it up. That's going to be so good when we get back to that. But we will get back to it, but not tonight.
February.
We got a baseball game. It's 1-1 in the 9th. Who would have thought that this game would still be going on at 9:03 Pacific, midnight, back east?
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. And that's a perfect lead-in for you, Carl Hascall, to do your Take a Minute segment here on the Cash Consideration Show at Carl Hascall on Twitter. Again, coordinating producer, social media manager, email guy, and obviously co-host of the show. Your Take a Minute segment, sir, starts in 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to go really quick because we're an over show and we've gone way over here.
Yes,
we got to be approaching 2 hours here, right?
Almost.
I just want to say to everyone who's listened to this entire show, first of all, you got to have something else to do. Second of all, thank you very much for listening. This is a lot of fun. If you're watching us on the YouTube, hi,
Yes.
I'm waving at you. If you're watching us on the YouTube,
Yes.
all our subscribers on there, thank you to everybody who's listening, interacting with us on the Twitter machine. It's a lot of fun. I like busting some balls back and forth and really just having a good time with all of you guys. It's a great way to break up the week, and especially on those days between, Sundays, because it's a long week in between Sundays. You got the Monday night, you got the Thursday night, but it's really been great interacting with all of you guys. So keep listening. We really appreciate it. And make sure you check out the YouTube and check out Neuby's Flow. And that's my minute.
No doubt. The flow is amazing. He's got the man bun work. Just let it loose a little bit. He got all the way into 140-ish so into the show, almost approaching 2 hours, which, by the way, if you do shows with commercials, a 3-hour show is actually an hour and 28 minutes talking, just so you guys know. So we're doing basically a 3-hour show that you would hear on the radio or on TV or on Sports Grid or anything like that. So we're right on pace. We're doing a good job. And when, somebody brings that bag and says, hey, can you do the show every day? We'll be ready because we can do it now. We're doing it as we do every week. All right. Dan Alexander, also known as Dan Newbert, known as @Neuby Talks on Twitter, the executive producer of the show, and obviously the co-host of the show. Your Take a Minute segment starts in 3, 2, 1.
I think I'm glad that Carl's was, I'm echoing those same sentiments as CH, especially if you enjoy what we do. Best way to have us continue what we enjoy to do is tell people about the show. If it's a tweet, if it's, just let a friend know, say, hey, I know you're into sports betting. I know you got a long commute. Check it out. Tell people about our show. That's how it grows, and it will only get better, folks. I'm going to keep this nice, short, and simple. If anybody out there is still playing fantasy football, what the fuck are you doing? Because I am playing fantasy football. Every year I tell myself it's the last year, and then before I know it, got a friend here, got a friend there, I'm in 5 fucking fantasy leagues. So it's just, and I don't even mind like keeping track of it. I'm actually really good at keeping track of it. I never forget to set my lineup, even though I'm getting bets in, even though I'm doing survivors, even though I'm doing all this stuff. I never forget to get my shit in, which pains me even more because it's always the half-point loss, or it's you got your 33-point guy on the bench who's been dog shit the whole entire season. You finally take him out and you put in the guy who's been hot, and then he scores 5 points. I am so fucking sick of season-long fantasy. Please, hold me to it, guys. I want to do one league, and I want to do my family's league, and then maybe one for money. Do not allow me. This is like a fantasy
flag down right here.
I want to be flagged at the bar. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is where people are like, all right, this guy, no more for him. I'm putting myself into Fantasy Football Anonymous, and do not allow me to be in 5 fantasy leagues because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a Sixers fan. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Flyers fan. Like, I can't take the heartbreak of fantasy football when I have the heartbreak of being a Philadelphia fan. Please stop me. Don't allow it to happen. That is my take a minute, Dave.
Oh, God. I love it. Oh, man. That's Dan Newbert @Neuby Talks. All right. My take a minute segment starts right now. And again, I'll keep it brief as well. This baseball game is still going on. I hope you're watching it. Baseball's great, and I hope you all enjoy this postseason, whether your team's in it or not. Even you Yankee fans, #anybody but the Yankees comes through again for the people. Thank you, Carl. Continued success in that. I can't wait to see what basketball team we pick. I already have 2 candidates. We can maybe run it back, or we can come out west. Either one, it's got to be.
Or both.
Or both, if you can fit it all in. Yes. And again, yes, thank you to all of you who are listening to the show, participating with us on social media, have reached out and DM'd everything. I mean, it's just been amazing. The growth is already starting. Push subscribe on YouTube. Apparently that boosts the videos, that boosts more, and we get more views. More things are starting to happen. We now have 2 shows. One is this one, and the other one is 8 in the Box with Brad. And, we can expand more. If you like what you see, you want opportunities to kind of either be on the show or maybe have your own show, we'll email the show about that because we're taking candidates for that. Personally, last week, I didn't do a show on Friday, which is a goddamn miracle because I'm doing what feels like 100 shows a day, but I love every second of it. I'm so blessed and just grateful to be able to do this now pretty much on a regular basis. But Friday said, I ain't doing no shows. You know why? Got an opportunity to see my daughters play softball against each other. We got Big Consig Kylie, who you saw briefly on the show. She's a pitcher, freshman at the College of Southern Nevada, JUCO here in town, about 35 minutes away from the Hamptons here, which I call the house. They play a team, 18U team locally, and the coach knows that Kylie plays. He says to me, do you think Kelsey, middle consig, would want to play against her sister? I said, yeah, what time? We'll be there. Didn't even ask her, just told her, by the way, you're going to play on Softball 101 against CSN. And she's like, wow, when? Yeah, Friday. So shut everything down. The kids went down early. I did a show in the morning with JD, Jeff Dawson, and then went down. and they play a doubleheader. First game, they don't play against each other. Kylie plays the outfield, Kelsey catches, and that's it. Second game, game 2, Kylie's starting. The coach knows he bats Kelsey leadoff. For 2 days in this house, they were talking shit back and forth. If you throw me that fastball inside, I'm going to hit it 300. She says, I ain't throwing you that pitch because you chase them low ones outside all the time. I'm just going to throw it there. You're going to swing and miss. Or I'll throw you a changeup and you'll pop it up. Or I'll let the changeup go and you'll get behind in the count because you never throw for a strike. The back and forth was amazing. It was sister, sibling that we all kind of grew up with, your friends, your buddies, giving each other shit. First at bat, she comes up, strike 1 inside. After Kylie told Kelsey she wasn't going to throw her strike inside, the first pitch, big sister shit, throws her right inside strike, caught her looking, strike 1. Strike 2, perfect curveball outside corner, 0-2. She don't know what's coming. Kylie gets a pitch, calls a ball a strike, and it's a strikeout looking. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, which is bon dia, bon tarde, bon noche. Just like our baseball segment. She walks back to the dugout, and I'm going, all right, round 1, Kylie got it. Big smile on her face as she takes the ball back on the mound. Kind of gave her a look like, I got you. I'm rooting for Kelsey. I don't got no favorites, but now second at bat, I'm rooting for the younger one. Second at bat comes. It's on Twitter. Go back in my timeline. I was videoing it all, doing lines. I made Kylie the favorite, minus 125 to get her out the first time. But after the first at bat, I said, God damn it, Kelsey is going to get on base, minus 115. First pitch, ball 1. Second pitch, Kylie tried to sneak a fastball by her. Middle Consig was not having any of it, was locked and loaded, ready to go, crushed the ball. I'm sitting there with the phone camera, pretending like I ain't excited. Meanwhile, I'm going, go, 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 go. It's going. It's a laser. Hits the top of the fence. Kelsey's not really fast. She looked like goddamn Stanton did the other last night. She was pimping that thing like that. She looked like Conor McGregor running down the first, walking. The ball hit the fence. I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's going to get thrown out in second. Get there. And I'm trying to pretend like I'm like, please. She makes it into second because they missed the cut and kind of pimps her sister at second. Like, yeah, I got you. And that was it. So round 1 went to Big Consig. Round 2 went to Middle Consig. And Papa Consig, me, was sitting there, tears in my eyes, going, we made it. We got one moment. We got more to go. But as a dad and as somebody who's been catching that kid for a long, long time, sitting on them buckets, and then seeing the little one kind of stand up to her sister and going, I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Like she knows she belongs on that field with them college kids, and she's a junior. The sense of pride that I had, can't explain. I'm getting choked up now talking about it. I was trying to act cool with the field. I got my shades on and my hat, and I got tears in my eyes. So that's honest. That's what we talked about. And that's my Take a Minute segment on the Cash Consideration Show. Thank you for allowing me to tell the story. For the boys, Neuby Talks, Dan Alexander, also the artist also known as Dan Newbert, the executive producer of the show, co-host of the show, Carl Hascall at Carl Hascall, the dancing Red Sox fan now. He's back. Coordinating producer, social media manager, also co-host of the show, and myself, Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere at SportsBK Consig, the show at Cash Consid Show. Follow right here on YouTube. Thank you all for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Watch the show on YouTube as well. Thank you.